How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Pace Studio here in Midtown Manhattan.
Yes, all right, Pace.
Guys, we are here today with the great Brooklyn Afrobeat ensemble, Antibalas. Guys, thank you so much for coming and filling up our room with music today.
Thank
literally.
You
so you guys have a new record out. It's coming out tomorrow, actually. It's called Where the Gods Are in Peace. And I know that record, it's a trilogy, right? There are 3 extended length songs on it. So we're going to do things a little bit differently today than we normally do. You guys are going to play one of those songs in its entirety in 3 movements, I believe. And then when we get to the end of that song, we can talk a little bit more about the album and stuff. But for right now, tell me a little bit about this song and how it factors into the album.
Well, the song is really, just to briefly give it to you in a very concise way, it's about building a future or a present that we want to be part of. So it's also a way of we're creating this world that we can all travel to and then look back at ourselves in the world we just left, right? So the idea is like reaching a point of where all restrictions or the way of thinking ends, and you're reborn out, the rebirth of a new way of being.
Sounds good, man.
Once upon a time in Tombstone, an island rich with gold, lush with green. There was order. They lived in balance. Then comes alien cowboy swooping down this chariot of fire amidst indigenous land keeper. Good axe floats on a white calabash. Pass it on. Come on. Iba fufun ori o. Iba fufun ori omi o. Ẹni tí mo wẹ̀ ó ká lọ. Ẹni tí mo wẹ̀ ó ká lọ. Rajo yemoja ènìyàn ló rajo yemoja. Yemo yemo yemoja o memu Àkúrẹ́ òun rera o memu Ìbàdàn òun rera o. Ènìyàn ló rí fẹ́ lámẹ́mú. Lámẹ́mú fún aráyé o. Ṣeré ṣayé ire o. Ẹ ṣayé ire kó dára o. Ẹni ayé kan ṣayé ire o. Ẹni ayé kan ṣayé ire. ẹgbọ́ràn leaders when it comes your turn do good pass it on pass it on.
Outlaw, sheriff galloping. No, I know how to know. The new sheriff intending to lift my heart. First king on the chariot of fire. Social grade, the guy to follow. Religion lender go bring plenty money to build and buy platinum boxes. Akaka to transport their roots and youth. Open up, open up. She would open your heart, my brother. She will open your soul, my sister. Mommy, 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 what's up? Mommy, mommy, what's up? Take us with you through the gates of Zion. Ènìyàn ló ràjò kẹmọjà ènìyàn ló ràjò open she will open your pocket she will open your way back where you was born. It's a Zion we go get to gates of Fallujah, gates of Israel, Palestine, gates of hospitals and your home, gates of your cage and college. Gates of your keeper who judge sky and earth, oh the sky and earth, oh the
Thank you, guys. That was amazing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So I want to ask a little bit about this new record, "Where the Gods Are in Peace." I know there's a lot going on conceptually with this album. There is the title, I think, refers to this kind of sort of fictional, idyllic island in outer space from which you can look back, or whoever is there looks back to Earth as one kind of humanity, one unified organism living in peace and harmony, and it's the wider perspective that sometimes maybe we all need. But there is also, I know, a lot of history in this record, specifically 19th century American history.
Absolutely.
And so tell us about how these things get weaved together and what the ultimate takeaway is.
You want to take a shot?
Sure. I mean, the music that we play has always had a message and some political sensibility, but I think with this one we wanted to go far into the future and also deep into the past in order to kind of get a stronger frame for understanding the present. And anything is possible. I mean, when we started the band, 1998, if you had told us the internet could do all the things that it could do now, it'd be crazy. You know, so the idea of Tombstown or some planet in outer space where we can do all these things is not too far off when you really think about the paradigm shifts that have happened in just the past 25 years.
Yeah.
So, this is the work. It was the last record that we made came out 5 years ago. We've been through a lot of ups and downs, but this particular album represents overcoming a lot of obstacles and, forging a new identity as a group and making new music. And, there's a lot more juice left in what we do creatively here. So we wanted to keep on going, keep on producing, and keep on creating ways to nourish ourselves and other people who listen to our music.
And one more thing I want to add, the idea of that planet is like there's boundless energy, so it's endless.
Yeah.
So it's like where we can go where we now don't have to suffer for resources.
It's
available for you
and
all the time, and it's here.
It's here.
It's
already here. We're
it's
here.
Already here.
Yeah.
We just
That's right. Is that part of the idea? Sort of like it's almost as though you don't have to go to some far off, distant, outer galactic planet that doesn't exist. We're here, and it's all within our power where we are. Is that sort of part of the idea?
It only takes stepping out to see it, because you can't see it if you're in it.
Yeah,
so you have to like step out of it, right? Detach yourself a little bit, detach from it, and then look back, and then you can get a better picture of what's going on.
Yeah, part of it is the idea. There's the first tune on the record, which we're not going to give you today, but if you come to the show tonight, you'll hear it. It's called Gold Rush, and there's a sort of an engagement between a cowboy and an indigenous chief, and there's this idea, where did we go wrong? So we can correct our course, and so part of this as humanity, as people living on this magical planet that gives us everything that we need, we are able to correct our course, but it's all about getting on the same page and recognizing that the course that we're in is not necessarily the one that we're supposed to be on.
Right, yeah. And one more question about the music itself. Tell me a little bit about how, when you have a concept like this and you know that there are themes you want to explore, and they're pretty heavy themes, philosophically and historically, how does the music come together in terms of relating to that? Are these two things completely connected, the music and the themes, or are they kind of, conceived separately and then put together after the fact?
I think it's already part of the DNA of the process. Like we already a band that wants to do things that are conscious. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you can now talk about any subject in a very conscious way, so we don't even have to necessarily look for concepts.
Yeah.
Concepts are there. You just have to, extract it out of. So when the music is, as you say, when you hear the music, when the music is being composed, the music is already telling you what message it talks to you, the musician, and then you have to talk back,
Yeah. So it's all one sort of organic process.
Yeah, it is. It is an organic process, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool.
I would add to that, the trickiest part about it is, I think, the lyrics, because music is such a higher form of communication than human language. And so it takes a lot more work to try to get the lyrics sort of understandable and flesh them out so that they're at a level of where the music is. Everybody understands the music, but the lyrics and trying to give the message justice, that's sort of what takes us a longer time, because we can sort of bang out melodies and song forms and stuff very quickly. But then the trickier part is trying to make lyrical forms that really do the subject that we're dealing with justice and are also musical.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well, I mean, it's an incredible album, and everyone should definitely check out their the record release show tonight, which is at the Gramercy Theater, and you'll play the whole record, I imagine, all the way through.
And a bunch of other stuff.
And a bunch of others. Yeah. And we're lucky enough now to get one more song from you guys, not from this new record, an older song, or maybe it's a cover, I think?
It's a cover.
It's a cover. So for something completely different, what is this next one you're going to do?
Well, this one, this kind of... show my age here. I was 9 years old in 1984, and around Halloween, this song came out called "Somebody's Watching Me," and no one knew the artist Rockwell, but everyone knew who sang the hook, Michael Jackson. And it was a novelty song. It was about this guy who felt like his TV was watching him, and he was being watched all the time. And in 1984, that seemed kind of like a crazy concept. How could this man's TV be watching him? And now we look at every gadget that we have as reporting back to some unknown entity, even just today with Equifax and the credit hack. And, that's all this historic moment is about, other people looking at each other all the time. So we didn't mess with the song at all, other than to change up the form. But the lyrics are exactly the same, but the context and the historical context has changed completely. So this is our take on it.
All right.
Always feel like someone's watching me. 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 I always feel like someone's watching me. I always feel like someone's watching me. Hey! Always feel like someone's watching me. Said I always feel like someone's watching me. Always feel like someone's watching me. Said I always feel like someone's watching me. Now I'm just an average man with an average life. I work from 9 to 5. Hey, hell, I pay the price. Now all I want is to be left alone in my average home. But why do I always feel like I'm in the twilight zone? And I always feel like somebody's watching me, and we have no privacy. Oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is this just a dream? Now when I come home at night, I bolt my door real tight. 'Cause people got me on my phone I'm trying to avoid. Well, can the people on the TV see me, or am I just paranoid? When I'm in the shower, I'm afraid to wash my hair, 'cause I might open my eyes and find someone standing there. People say I'm crazy, just a little touch, but maybe showers remind me of psycho too much. That's why I say I always feel like somebody's watching me, and we have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is this just a dream? Yeah. Body watching me. Yeah. This is the part where you groove. Yeah. Oh, the Pace magazine, I don't know anymore whether it's my neighbors watching me, the mailman, my TV screen, Facebook. We have to protect ourselves. Charles Bradley told me you got to harden your heart, 'cause I just don't feel safe anymore. And I wonder who's watching me today. The NSA. I always feel like somebody's watching me, and we have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is this just a dream? Yeah, I always feel like somebody's watching me, and we have no privacy. somebody's watching me, and we have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is this just a dream?
Guys, thank you so much. I think I haven't heard that song since it was on MTV in about, what was that, maybe 1985, 4?
Yeah, it's the dude in the trench coat and the sunglasses.
Yeah, oh man, I remember it well. I watched
come back to haunt all of
hell
us
of a lot of
now,
MTV. Yeah. I wonder, Rockwell should make a comeback, man. Now's the time, right?
Yeah, he's had some other hits.
He's
Yeah.
still around, I know.
Now,
Somewhere.
he had another hit called Obscene Phone Caller. That concept is dated, because anyone who's calling you obscenely on the phone, you could track them down. Really
that's probably true. Yeah. The new record is called Where the Gods Are in Peace, and it's really an amazing record, full of great ideas and great music. So congratulations on that. It comes out tomorrow.
Yep.
And Antibalas is going to be playing tonight, Thursday night, at the Gramercy Theater here in New York City. Mm-hmm. And then you think you got a festival show with the Meadows coming up over the weekend. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
And then more dates down the road?
We'll be down in Texas, up through the Midwest, Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, Michigan, and then
Afrobeat country.
Yeah, Japan, California. So if you have friends, if you like what you saw, please come out, because this is, we don't have all of our juice here, but this is a little taste of it, and it's always fun to do some creative problem solving to see where the essence of the song lies when you kind of strip away all the real loud stuff and all the other fancy stuff. So it's been fun doing this.
We really appreciate you guys coming in and fitting into this room and making it work as well as you did. We get a lot of bands who have to sort of play in new formats here in this room, and as part of sort of the challenge, what we love to give our audience is a new way of seeing bands they don't normally see, and you guys obviously know exactly what you're doing. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So thanks again for coming, and congrats on the record. And, guys, come back to the Pace Studio anytime. We'll fit as many more of you as you need. We'll get some drums in here. More drums, I mean. And, anything to get Antibalas back.
House kid donated or something.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.